There we go. Hello. Welcome to G4 Interactive show where we interact with you. I have no idea who's coming around tonight, if anyone. Spot didn't tell me. So, it'll be a surprise for everybody. Yay! I'm calling you Pinky. No, so boy. Narf. Is it Butler? I don't know. That'd be fun if it was. Oh, I hear. Oh wait, I think I hear Blair. Hey, I think you guys are right. Awesome. This saves me a lot of trouble. Blair! Yay! Let me grab her chair. Hang on, guys. We'll be right back. Alright, let me grab you. Here you go. Extra chair. Yay, extra chair.
Ah, fabulous.
Oh, wait, you know what? I think actually there's someone sitting here today.
Oh, well then grab my chair.
Josh, would you grab my chair?
Grab my chair. Blair. I didn't know anybody was coming.
What do you mean?
But no, well, I didn't know who was coming today.
Oh, was it? I didn't know if you guys had messaged it out or.
No.
Nope.
Unless he did.
Thank you.
Where's my chair?
Yeah, I didn't see it on the Twitters.
Oh,
I'll
that's
take
silly.
off my badge.
That's okay.
Courtney?
Yes.
You can tease Adam for tomorrow. He's
Okay. Well, now we know who's here. Look, Blair Butler's here today,
Hey.
and Adam Sessler will be with us tomorrow.
Hello.
How was New York Comic Con aside from the nerd flu?
Oh man, New York Comic Con was great. I apologize. I'm very pasty and pale today
That's
because
okay. I'm always pasty and pale, so
we complement each
yeah.
other well. I got crazy food poisoning, or maybe it was nerd flu. So there was some rough times. There were some rough times on Saturday,
it could have been a little bit of both.
But it came out. The whole thing came out great. It was awesome meeting everybody that I met at the signing.
Mm-hmm.
Blair Herter's signing went like 4 hours. People were
Really?
so excited to see him.
Yeah.
So it was great being there with Man Blair. That was pretty awesome. And
The pair of Blairs.
yeah, and it's really cool because the comic that I was doing, Heart, I've only met the artist Kevin once because he lives on the other side of the country from me. So it was awesome getting to hang out with him, and because I talk to him every day,
Yeah,
and
and then to finally meet him.
to finally meet him in person.
I did
it's
that
pretty
too.
great.
I don't know if I told you, I'm writing my own manga.
I did know that, yeah.
I'm working with an artist out of Atlanta, and I finally got to meet her after knowing her like online for 5 years.
Isn't that wild?
It was cool. I'm
Yeah.
like, I was so shy to meet her because I'm like, what are they like in real life? But you know.
But I'm back.
Cool.
I survived. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, I look a little disheveled.
It's
well,
okay.
It's all
It's
par
easy
for the course.
But Heart sold out there, didn't it?
It sold out. It totally
Awesome.
sold out.
So where can people find it if they want to get their hands on a copy of it?
What? What? Sorry, spoiler-free thoughts on the Walking Dead ending. All right, I will take that one first off. So let's see, spoiler-free. So I have read the comic, obviously, and I will say that I did not expect that ending. That scene when it started mirrors almost exactly a very shocking moment in the comic, went a totally different way, and I'll tell you what, as someone who loves the comic, I'm so excited that the TV show is going in a totally different direction. I think it's fantastic because it surprises me, and I am, as you probably know, like very slavishly devoted to the comic, so it's been great.
So do you prefer like comic book adaptations to be accurate, or do you prefer that they kind of go off on their own? And
you know what? It really depends. I think in movies, sometimes I'd really love it to be faithful to the source material, but with a TV show that's episodic and based on an episodic comic, to build drama, especially when your main fan base is very well acquainted with the source material, I actually think it's really cool. It's almost like, and if anybody watching this reads comics, to me, it's very similar to the Ultimate Marvel Universe, because, you've got the regular Marvel Universe and you kind of know what happens to Peter Parker and the Avengers and Fantastic Four. In the Ultimate Universe, anything can happen. For example, recently Peter Parker got killed off, so it's really exciting that the Walking Dead TV show is kind of the ultimate Walking Dead. You don't know what's going to happen. There are new characters. For example, the Hillbilly Ninja. I love that guy, Daryl.
Nice.
Daryl Dixon, backwoods martial artist.
I love it when they surprise you. I've been watching this one anime. It's
Jake 7000. I'm so sorry. That was not a spoiler because that happened like 6 months ago and was all over the mainstream media. The Ultimate Spidey did indeed get replaced by someone, but I love the new Ultimate Spidey even more. So there you go.
And guys, feel free to post questions for Blair. We're here to answer them.
I love that. Apparently someone did not mute themselves and was causing a little bit of an echo. Yeah, GSP. Okay, so for the MMA fans, GSP, George St. Pierre, knee injury, out 4 to 6 weeks before he can even start training again, which means that he was headlining UFC 137 against Carlos Condit. Both he and Carlos Condit, as of right now, are off the card. They're going to supposedly sit Carlos Condit out because they feel like he's earned that title shot. So BJ Penn versus Nick Diaz will be the headlining fight, which is a good fight, but honestly, that double billing of GSP versus Carlos Condit, and I know this is unpopular, but I actually think Carlos Condit has a better chance than anybody GSP has faced in the last couple years of beating GSP, so I was really excited to see that fight. Now Nick Diaz versus BJ Penn is the main event, and I'm still really torn because BJ Penn has looked great lately, but Nick Diaz in his Paul Daly fight looked insane, so it's really tough. Let's see. Mr. Monkey Man asked, will he continue to have issues with the injury in the future like Shogun? I really hope not. Here's a great example. Frankie Edgar suffered a really terrible back injury between his second fight with Gray Maynard, the title fight with Gray Maynard, and his most recent fight. And as we saw by the outcome of that third matchup, that back injury did not set him back at all. So hopefully, GSP is a machine. He works harder and trains harder than almost anybody in MMA. So I feel like hopefully this won't turn him back. And they said that it's not torn, or at least what I've read so far is that it's not a debilitating injury. It's something that will be able to be rehabbed in 4 to 6 weeks. Yes, I did enjoy this year's New York. Who's my favorite fighter? There's so many. Oh, man. Who's my favorite fighter? My favorite fighter, gosh, I'm really torn. I have to say, I'm gonna leave I can't even say. It's like choosing between children. I really love GSP as an ambassador for the sport. As far as watching someone fight, I'm always really excited to see John Jones fight because he gets better every time. Let's see. Okay, Chuck Liddell is amazing. All right. I cannot beat anyone up. Nihilism for life. I am weak. I got arm wrestled by someone this weekend, and she kicked my ass. I'm weak, and in the apocalypse, let's just hope I have a crossbow because these puny dinosaur arms, my T-Rex arms. Good aim. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Never read a comic outside of DC and Marvel. What would you recommend? Let's see. I have 3 right off the bat. The Walking Dead from Image Comics, Why the Last Man, which is Vertigo, which is technically a DC imprint, but is phenomenal. And Lock and Key from IDW, a very scary series written by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. Great art. Keep meaning to. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Monkey Man, Gegard Mousasi. Great fighter. Really dynamic guy over in Strikeforce. I really hope that if Strikeforce goes under, and they say it won't, but they're certainly cherry picking some of the best fighters from Strikeforce to go to UFC. Would love to see Mousasi fight in the UFC. I did read the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost series, and I actually liked it, Jake 7000. I really enjoyed the Call of Duty and Modern Warfare. I think Ghost was in My Brain is Dying. Was it Modern Warfare 2? Or 3? I'm sorry.
Probably 2, since 3 isn't out yet.
Yeah.
So, yes. 2, Rick says.
Oh, can I get a synopsis of what Heart is about? I know nothing of it. Okay, so Heart is a comic that I'm doing with an artist named Kevin Mellon, and it's basically, I'm writing it, he's drawing it, and it tells the story of this young guy who's kind of an office drone. He has an office job. He's punching a clock every day and hating every minute of it, and his older brother is a former college wrestler who gets into MMA, and he kind of follows his brother into the world of MMA, and once he gets into it, he discovers that he has a talent for knocking guys out, and it's kind of about his rise from the amateur ranks up to turning pro and what happens to him over the course of his career.
And how long is it going to be?
It's 4 issues. It's black and white, which we did so that the price point could be down. We know it's a tough time economically for everybody, so I think it's $2.99 in print. And there's definitely going to be a digital version that comes out because Image Comics just signed a big deal with Graphically and also Comixology. So it will be coming out. I don't know the price point on the digital copies yet, but I will definitely let everybody know.
Yes.
Are silent.
Yeah, you can just ignore all of his questions unless you want to have fun. That's just his sense of humor.
Let's see. Oh, what type of art style do I favorite in comics? Or who's, I like a ton of different people. I love Jeff Darrow, that ultra detailed, kind of crazy, amazing art. But I also love really people who are really stylized, like Sean Phillips, who draws Criminal, Francesco Francavilla, whose name is just fun to say,
Yeah.
who's been doing some of the Detective Comics stuff with Scott Snyder before the DC reboot. Just really beautiful stuff. Am I a Zelda fan? Of the old school Zelda, yes.
Well, that's a good question, seeing as how you did all those Drunk Link skits.
Oh yeah, I know the
X-Play.
Drunk Link skits back in the day where I had the I Need Drink shirt. Let's see, what's my favorite classic? I'm assuming you mean comic. I have to say, Arkham Asylum by Grant Morrison and Dave McKean is probably, like, if you forced me to pare down all my classics, that one is an incredible book that I love, and I reread it at least once or twice a year. Let's see, American Ninja Warrior or regular Ninja Warrior? I like both the Ninja Warriors. I have to say, there's a very special place in my heart for one of the early seasons of Ninja Warrior. I was working at G4, and they cut a promo of Lady, and I don't think it was actually the Kunoichi, like the all-lady Ninja Warrior. It was when Ninja Warrior was co-ed, and she ran and jumped, so she's running like this, and she jumps, and she hits a wall, like, face first, like this.
I remember
so this is her head. She hits it, and then her legs bend backwards, like up over her head, like this. And then she goes like, that is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. So that really did that for me. That was pretty great. Oh, nice. You like Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. I actually like I think they did an animated adaptation of that. That was really cool, and to me was like a blueprint for someday when the technology catches up. An amazing live-action movie. There's so much great stuff in there. I tend to get overwhelmed looking at Marvel DC books by the decades and stories I miss, so I read indie. Where should I start with the more mainstream stuff? How about Batman Arkham Asylum? For example, the new Batman Arkham Asylum game and Batman Arkham City are both, yeah, they're kind of like, much of the material in there is really, not lifted, but inspired by Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum, which is 25 years old and is a pretty great comic. Courtney is more into manga than I am, actually.
Yeah, we can talk manga another time.
Yeah. My favorite manga, let's see.
Didn't you like My the
Psychic Girl?
Yeah.
Even though it gets kind of pervy. Let's be totally honest about that. It gets real pervy.
Lone
Wolf and Cub is amazing. I liked some of the Fist of the North Star stuff when the guys' heads go in half. Pretty great. Let's see.
You have to do a comic book essay for English. That's perfect because we're talking about all comics tonight.
Yes,
well,
it is. Yeah, what is your topic, Jake?
Yeah,
what is your topic?
You with actually, help them. I'll be right back.
Okay. Courtney's coming back. You got it. Hey, I'm all by myself. Yeah, Jake on. I know. It's because I feel bad because I'm having a tough time reading some of the other. Oh, yes. Did I ever read the Superman comic For the Man Who Has Everything, which I believe is the Alan Moore story? Yes, really great. In fact, if I could make one recommendation of like, hey, I missed some of those classic DC stories, where do I start? DC released a couple years ago an Alan Moore anthology that includes Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, For the Man Who Has Everything, both tremendous Alan Moore stories. I think The Killing Joke is also in there, and his Green Lantern stories, which, here's a fun factoid if you didn't already know. Alan Moore years ago wrote this really crazy Green Lantern story that almost felt a little Hellraiser-ish. And in it, and this was, I think, from like the early 80s, he mentions Blackest Night. So a lot of people sort of see that as the impetus for that recent Blackest Night event that DC did. So the roots actually trace all the way back to Alan Moore and this short story he did. It was pretty great. Let's see, how older comics have changed with what the world was back then. Oh, yes. Well, for starters, some of the older comics were uncomfortable when it came to issues of race. So that has certainly changed dramatically. Also, Wonder Woman, one of the really interesting things is the guy who invented Wonder Woman also invented the lie detector test and was kind of into bondage, hence the lasso of truth. Fun fact.
I feel like I've learned something. I feel so enlightened.
Yeah, ever had a comic book movie you walked out of? Yes, Elektra. Oh my god, that was really terrible. Catwoman I didn't even walk into because I knew better. Do you think making comics into summer blockbuster movies helps or hurts the actual comic? It does help the actual comic because succeed or fail, the comic book sales always spike. When Watchmen came out, tons of comics sold. Scott Pilgrim was already selling well, and then the interest around the movie sold them. The one comic that probably didn't benefit from that, unfortunately, is Jonah Hex. The comic itself is phenomenal. The movie, speaking of walking out of movies, I actually walked out of Jonah Hex, and it was on a DVD player, so I just walked out of the room. It was pretty brutal. Let's see. What were my thoughts on Batman Hush? I love the first half, and Jim Lee's art is phenomenal. The end, but it's a great book. Jim Lee's stuff in there is great. Fall TV shows this year you are loving. Yes. Homeland, surprisingly good. What else? Walking Dead is great. Dexter's back. Breaking Bad was awesome. It's a lot of great stuff. Let's see. Wearing your underwear on the outside of superhero costumes becoming dated. It is at DC Comics are silent because Superman no longer has his drawers on the outside. They are inside.
Wow.
His indestructible Kryptonian underwear is now worn under his blue Kryptonian indestructible skin-tight spandex.
Okay. Who's your favorite X from the Scott Pilgrim series?
Oh, favorite evil X. Oh man. I liked the girl. She really cracked me up. Let's see. Stuff reminds me of the ultimate Marvel movie, The Avengers. Let's see.
You can scroll up if.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read. I'm just slow.
Yeah, just scroll up. Just click on
Let's see.
Little arrow.
Oh, and somebody says they hate that Superman wears jeans. Don't worry, that won't last. That will actually change very, very soon. That's a 5-year prequel Action Comics right now, so he will not look like Bruce Springsteen Superman for long. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to the Avengers. I'm a big Joss Whedon fan. I'm super psyched. So. Yeah, let's see. Spider-Man on Broadway. No, I did not. I did not see Spider-Man on Broadway. How was it?
He said it was actually okay, but I have no desire.
I have concerns. Let's see. Am I excited for the Avengers movie? Junior 12111? Hell yes, I am. I'm so excited, and I've kind of heard rumors about who the bad guys that Loki kind of brings in are, and we'll see. I mean, I have to say, having all those great characters in one movie, to me, is awesome. I love the idea of a unified cinematic universe, and I think Marvel's approach to building a world where they can do those movies is awesome. I think it's great. Let's see. So Superman will start wearing khakis. You are correct. Let's see. Which Joker do I prefer? Comics, movies? I have to say the Joker from Batman the Killing Joke completely creeped me out for years, but now cinematically Heath Ledger's Joker is really the one to rule them all. As much as the dancing Jack Nicholson Joker was at the time very, very, interesting. The Heath Ledger one is great. Spider-Man on Ice, I think, happened already, right?
Wouldn't surprise me. I haven't heard that.
Yeah. I think Robert Downey Jr. is definitely the biggest presence in that movie, so it'll be interesting to see how all that gets bounced up. The weird villain, I think, is in there. I don't know if it's a spoiler, so I don't know if I should say, because people are excited. Let's just say that if you read Brian Michael Bendis' Secret Invasion, you will probably be able to guess. Kingdom Hearts, I have not played. I've heard great things about it. I know it's got great Disney characters, and maybe a new installation or edition of it, if it happens, would have Marvel characters, so that's great.
Cool.
Superhero movie that is out right now. I don't think there are any out right now, but I really enjoyed, I don't know, the first hour of Captain America was pretty great. X-Men First Class, I loved everything except the fact that Darwin, the thing that happens to Darwin, is one of those weird things because you're like, he's supposed to be able to adapt to everything, and it's kind of weird. It's like a horror movie cliche, like, the black guy dies first. That's really awkward. So, but other than that movie was great. Should I buy Batman Arkham City? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to buy it as soon as I possibly can. I have to do some writing first. With my dinosaur arms, my little T-Rex arms. But after that, I will be so excited to play Batman Arkham City. I've heard the word of mouth around the office is that it's front runner for Game of the Year. That's enough for me. When all the people on X-Play are like, this could be Game of the Year, maybe. Yeah. I hope that's not a spoiler.
No, it just means it's a good game.
Thoughts on comics going digital? So, here's what I think. You should absolutely support your local comic book shop. If you have a local comic shop that's ordering you comics, go there, get your comics. You have a physical copy. It's really great.
It's yours forever.
Yes. However, I get emails from fans in like, or people that watch the show in like Iceland, in Alaska, places like out kind of in the middle of nowhere where they don't have a local shop. And for those people, I think digital comics are an awesome addition. It means that you can get day and date that comic that you've been missing on the shelves forever. You don't have to wait for the trade to come out and order it online. So, support your local shops. If you're somewhere where you can't, by all means, go crazy with the digital. And I think, honestly, if my comic book collection is ridiculous, it takes over my life. It's taken over my cubicle. It's taken over my apartment. I have a lot of comics in boxes. The idea of digital is very appealing in the sense that everything can be condensed into one shiny little device. Let's see here. Okay. Checking these emails. I've not played Arkham City yet, but I'm dying
It
to
just
play
came out,
it.
people. Give her a minute.
Yeah, the Joker from Joker was really cool. Eddie Stake. I like that name. Another interesting fact about that. So Brian Azzarello and Lieber Mayhew were working on that Joker comic before Dark Knight. Was it Dark Knight Returns? Before that movie even came out. So that design with the Joker mouth cut on the sides was something that they had generated independently of the Chris Nolan film. It just so happened that the movie came out, the comic came out right after, and actually serves as like a great second chapter to that movie because the designs are so similar, which is really interesting. Let's see, Spider-Man movie reboot. What do I think of it? Man, I really hope they don't spend too much time on the origin story because we've all seen that origin story. We're really familiar. It's like a popular American mythology. Everybody, probably my grandma knows Spider-Man's origin story, so let's hope that they speed up that portion and get straight to the lizard because I've been waiting for the lizard movie for years. Let's see. SSG Strunks. Perhaps, but I don't want to say it out loud because it's a spoiler. Let's see. Did I ever play the original Spider-Man game for PS1? I did not. Sadly. I know. Nihilism for life. You're right. That is what the problem with the movie about Darwin. Oh, my dream UFC match. Well, I was really looking forward to Carlos Condit versus Jesus. Okay, I'll tell you what, my dream UFC match, hands down, Anderson Silva versus John Jones. That's the one I want. If I could only see one, that's it. I mean, Brock versus Overeem, that's exciting. But if they did John Jones versus Anderson Silva, it'd be amazing. Do I own a Green Lantern ring? I do. It is metal. It does not work, and I cannot fly with it.
That's a bummer. Matt has several at his desk, but they're all plastic. But he has all the colors.
You don't have white.
You have white?
No.
Yeah.
He wears whatever suits his
Oh, he's got a bunch of rings. That guy.
You actually.
Right on. Let's see, Jake 7000. Jake, yes, I feel like that man's time, the gentleman on The Walking Dead, I feel his time may be limited. Let's see. IMDb says you like to get drunk while wearing a Batwoman costume. True. That is news to me, but hilarious.
Sounds like a great idea.
It sounds awesome. I will get right on that. Let's see. Paper comics, not the... Okay. My local shop is 100 miles away. Is it really Ocular Nervosa?
There are people who
That
don't
is a
live very
long... Where
close
do you
to
live, buddy?
You might have to scroll down.
I would love to see Marvel and Disney parks. Let's see.
Who wouldn't?
I will not be playing Diablo 3, tragically. I just don't have enough time.
There's Batman to play.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
Let's see. Too much emotions. Yeah, Emo Spidey 3. That was a lot. New Spider-Man suit. I'm okay with it, I guess. It's very Nike. That's how I would describe it.
How about an extended Venom?
Yeah, you're right. The guy who played Dr. Kirk Connors in the other Spider-Man movie is probably super bummed. Dylan, his first name's Dylan. I can't remember his last name. He's an awesome actor, so yeah, I'd be bummed. Let's see. On a scale of 10 to 10, how excited am I for the release of my comic? Hugely.
12?
Having those issues out and getting to hold the first issue at New York Comic Con was amazing. And then we sold out, and then I was like, I'm not holding any issues anymore because the darn thing sold out. So that was weird because I was like, oh, I gave away all my babies. But I'm super, super, super excited. It's one of the best feelings and one of the most exciting, like, creative collaborations I've ever been part of. Let's see. I'm trying to build up a collection of rings so you can be like Parallax. Exactly. Or that one, I can't remember, is it the Orange Lantern that has them all on that one cover? Or maybe it's Hal. Let's see. Chocobo on my whiteboard. I do not.
You.
Oh, is there a Chocobo?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's a great Chocobo.
And
who did that? Is that Sebastian?
Yeah, it was Sebastian.
Damn,
Sebastian's
Sebastian's
isn't here anymore.
really talented.
Yeah. I miss him.
I don't know what that means. Let's see. Oh, his junk, his junk in your face. I was like, what does that mean? Let's see. How do I feel about the Walking Dead show? You know what? I'm always gonna love the comic more, but I really like that the show's doing something different. Let's see. Okay.
Blair versus Woman Blair.
Blair versus Woman Blair. That would be the saddest fight ever. It would be very tragic.
It would be like Battle of the Geeks.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Let's see. What non-geeky thing do I do that would surprise you, my friends?
Yeah.
I do CrossFit at the gym one day a week. Kettlebells, people. Kettlebells. Let's see. Who'd win in the MMA fight? The Hulk versus Doomsday? I gotta say, that's a good fight. I actually like that. Doomsday is rock hard. He's got all those... I feel like the Hulk. But that's probably just because I'm predisposed to like the Hulk. What did I see at NY Comic Con that I really enjoyed? The costumes were amazing. Also, comics are king at New York Comic Con. Like, the movies are great, but people loved the comics. They were there about the comics. I saw so many great artists. There were all these incredible people and creators there. Good comic book to pick up for someone just getting into comics. Again, I always go back to the same three. The Walking Dead, Why the Last Man, Lock and Key. All great. New Superman suit. Speaking of junk. Oh my. New Superman suit. You're right. The East Coast does know how to do things correctly. I caught up with the scroll. How do I let it just do its own thing?
It'll just roll.
Okay, cool.
Roll.
Yeah, I mean, I think other great comics. I actually love the new Ultimate Spider-Man, and I feel like that's a good all-ages book. It's only 3 issues in, so that's been really great. There was a Dazzler at the NYC. There were also 2 gentlemen dressed as Wonder Woman who were hilarious. They were so great.
We saw them on Attack today.
They were awesome. They were on Attack the show today. Marvel Universe is confusing and complicated. Yeah, that's why I do the Ultimate Universe a lot. It's great. It really, really streamlines things. Does adding flames to your Vespa make you a badass? Yes, that is correct.
You should do it.
Stanley does not glow when you meet him in real life, but he is very nice, and, yeah.
He doesn't, like, hum naturally? There's, like, a chorus
No, there's not
angels.
a chorus or, like, but he's a cool dude. He's very nice, and he seems very happy. I signed a lot of stuff at New York Comic Con. I know we signed at least 100 issues of the comic, and then we signed a bunch of other stuff in the G4 booth, and we were selling these limited edition prints from the comic of the Flying Knee page and of the 2 variant covers, so it was like we had 30 of each that we sold. Stephen Hawking or Michio Kaku? That's a good question. Wow. I can't decide between them. Let's see. I did not watch Who Wants to Be a Superhero. Star Wars or Star Trek? I gotta say Star Wars for me. I like Star Trek too, but Star Wars will always be in my heart. What did I think about the Walking Dead first episode ending? I kind of talked about that at the beginning, but it was very surprising, which I liked. It is not something that happens in the comic. Yes, Stanley as Hugh Hefner is definitely a great guest appearance. I believe that was Iron Man 2. Oh, Michigo. I probably mispronounced his name. I'm not smarter than a 5th grader at all. Blue or red? Blue. Well, actually, if you're talking about the heart covers, they're equal. Blue or red, I'm good with both of them. Okay, now it's all either or. Samuel L. Jackson or LeVar Burton.
They do that game.
LeVar Burton is like Reading Rainbow, which I like, but Samuel L. Jackson is get these mother effing snakes off my mother effing plane, so I gotta go with Samuel L. Jackson.
Check out in Camera 4.
Yeah.
It has your autograph.
Oh my gosh, hey! That guy was at New York Comic Con. Right on, man! That's so great. Marlon, that's kick-ass. Thanks, Marlon. I met you. Aw. I don't know where your car keys are silent.
I need a little bleepy thing.
Let's see. Chlorophyll Kid as the lamest super, yes.
That does sound lame.
Yes, that was one of the greatest redubs of all time. Monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. You can't make that up. Nice meeting you too, Marlon. Right on, dude.
Can we help with your AP World History homework?
Yeah,
Probably not,
no.
unless it's about comic books. We already helped to get.
I saw the first season of the X-Files, and I saw that episode Home that was so, like, scandalous that they pulled it from the air, but I haven't seen a ton of X-Files. I like the Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, too. Do I have a superpower? Sadly, no. Sadly, no. Yes, Stepjack. I just watch all the Walking Dead TV shows. Should I read the comics? Yes, because, as it turns out, the comics go a completely different direction than the TV show, so you're not going to ruin anything.
And they're just as enjoyable.
Yeah. This shirt is great. It's that old school Vader design, so it's pretty awesome.
I saw someone who had like the old school kind of design with the Imperial snowflake, and I really wanted it, but
oh
there's
yeah,
no place to find it.
Those are pretty great. Let's see, inspiration for my comic character. You know, here's the really interesting thing about the comic, or interesting to me at least. I kind of based it on a place. It's not based on any one person. It's kind of based on a place you're at in your life. Because I feel like I spent a lot of time as a PA and a lot of time like working temp jobs, and I just was like, what do I want to do with my life? And when you find that thing that you're like, this is what I want to do, it kind of like electrifies you. And so it's more about a time in your life when you're young and you hate what you do, but you want to do something else.
You're discovering yourself.
Yeah, self-discovery.
Yeah, kind of go
this
through
guy
your
discovers
20s.
himself by punching dudes in the face and making them violently go to sleep. Or head kicks. Or knees to the face.
Either or.
Yes. We need an actor who can really portray the Punisher. Well, I agree. I'm trying to think of who would be... Man, I'm trying to think of like a really good Frank Castle. I'm going to have to think about that. Will your comic make me cry? I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. Most shocking moment for me in a comic book. That is actually... So it's a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it, but it is from The Walking Dead, issue 48. I'll leave it at that.
No, let me see it.
Let's see, Magic0214, do you want to do other comic books or just stick to the series? I would like to do more comics. I absolutely love doing this. I'm definitely, you know, the crazy thing about comics is not super lucrative. Let's be honest. You almost never make, especially creator-owned comics, hardly make any money. But the great thing about it is, like, that means people are doing creator-owned comics because they love it and there's stories they want to tell. So I'm keeping my day job right here, or well, there. Wait, what the hell?
It's
Sorry.
not a mirror.
There. Yeah, it's not a mirror. But I'm going to still keep trying to do comics.
Because we love.
For sure. Let's see. His favorite zombie movie of all time. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. It's pretty good. I know that's a blasphemy, but... I did read the Alan Moore Swamp Thing comic when I was a kid, and it creeped me out, especially with the, was it the Floronic Man? Oh, it scared the hell out of me. So creepy.
You have nightmares about it?
Let's see. My costume for Halloween. Maybe I'll go as a toxic waste dump. I did that when I was in 6th grade, and it was pretty dope. You get a refrigerator box, you get in it, you cover it with trash bags, and you just waddle down the street. If you fall over, you tip over really slow. Walking Dead compendiums. If you've already read the first 48 issues, then you don't need the compendium. If you've never read any of it, I mean, it's pretty great. That compendium's really heavy, though, but in the long run, it'll probably save you a lot of money over buying all the trades. Thank you, Tom0557. It was the Floronic Man. I have not seen the new Thing, but I love John Carpenter's The Thing, Wave Monsters. It's great. Oh my gosh, the Piranha 3D director is doing a Black Sad movie? That's incredible. I think I had heard some rumors. I did not know that it was the director of Piranha 3D, but, you know. Let's see. Serial killer costume. Sorry. Our line producer, Bernardo, does nothing but terrible puns. That could be his costume.
Yeah.
Favorite kind of zombie? Oh my god, fast-running zombies scare the hell out of me. I prefer slow-running zombies, but the fast-running ones are terrifying.
Because they can actually catch you. You always think you can outrun the slow ones, but they find out they can run as fast as you, you're like, oh.
Yeah. No, those fast-running zombies in 28 Days Later. Oh my god, or in Dawn of the Dead. Favorite COD zombie map? You know what? I suck at the zombie levels. I love the President one because you're basically playing as like Nixon or JFK or whatever. That was very fun, but I sucked at the zombie levels. I was really, really terrible. The Punisher. Yes, I am talking about the Punisher, Marlon. Yes, Bernardo is the Punisher, sir.
Yeah, most people who work on AOTS, you see them eventually
exactly
on the show in one way or another.
You're going to go as Dick Cheney? That's awesome. That is Courtney.
What? Who, me?
Jordan. I believe is Jordan's.
Yes.
Yeah, that Courtney is.
I am
yes.
Courtney.
Yes.
Or as they sometimes call me on here, Teggy, for those of you who get confused.
Oh, Tom0557, thank you very much. That's, I try. Sometimes I don't get service, and I can't get back to people on the Twitter, but I try. Good news, Jake. The lizard is in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yay!
Slight spoiler alert, but kind of awesome.
That is awesome.
Your Chihuahua wants to be a superhero. What shall I call him?
Super Chihuahua?
Yeah, Super Chihuahua,
Chihuahua?
Yo Quiero ass kicker.
I like that.
The Punisher could come back. It's possible. Super Shootin'. They need an X-Men Spider-Man movie. I would not disagree. Unfortunately, the X-Men franchise license for making movies is owned by Fox. Spider-Man is owned by Sony. Until Marvel gets those licenses back, which will probably not happen in our lifetime, that will never happen. I'm not even kidding. It's crazy. Teggy is your alter ego. Who is this Teggy?
Okay, so you know how everyone on the internet has like their nickname or the screen name they always use? Mine is Teggy.
Okay.
And actually, Teggy is not my alter ego. Lady Godiva is my alter ego, and I'll tell you about that on another show.
Lady Godiva, eh?
I'll tell you about that when we're done.
The new Spidey is a little bummed out and emo, yes. But I mean, if your parents had something happen to them and then Uncle Ben got shot because you were a jerk,
Yeah,
you
that
would be totally bummed too.
About the vigilante that
Yes, I saw the footage of what's his name, Phoenix something or other. He's like one of those real life superheroes. Actually, that girl beat him up with a shoe.
That's funny.
For a really long time. Then he maced her, I think. I do cry, Yank. You're right. Yes. Should they have put Trollface 96? Should they have put Spider-Man in the Avengers? Again, that would have been awesome. Unfortunately, Marvel and Disney own the Avengers license. Spidey is owned by Sony, which is a different company. So unfortunately, we're not going to see them all together unless those major companies work something out. Who knows? Maybe they will. You know, Marvel recently got back the Punisher license. That's a huge, huge deal. That means in future films, the Punisher could turn up. You could have a Punisher versus Avengers movie. You could have the Punisher versus other characters. But a good rule of thumb, so X-Men, Daredevil, and Fantastic Four owned by Fox. Sony has Ghost Rider and Spider-Man. And then, obviously, you know, Iron Man, Cap, Thor, the Hulk, Punisher, Black Widow. They are all owned by Marvel. Iron Fist and Luke Cage by Marvel. So that's kind of where those properties are right now, and it'll be interesting to fit together. Let's see, new season on AMC's Hell on Wheels comedy. Let's see, yeah, Cowboys and Zombies. I'm looking forward to Hell on Wheels, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm sorry I melted your brain, sir. I didn't mean to.
She has that effect on people. You guys are just going to have to
yes, Eddie Stake, Punisher shooting Wolverine in the face. That was a great Garth Ennis run on Punisher, or maybe Wolverine. It was insane. And then he runs over him with a cement mixer, and all you see is the skull, like the adamantium skull with no skin on it. It was crazy. Did you see how great? Yes, Courtney was fantastic on Fresh Ink while I was in.
Yeah, I had about a
really,
day's notice.
really great.
So I'm like, okay,
why isn't Carol Channing in the Avengers?
You think it
is Carol Channing still alive? I
Yeah,
know
I
that's a
think
terrible
so.
question. I hope
think
she
she
is.
is.
She's very funny. I feel like it would be tough for her to fight invading Asgardian
Yeah, but
armies.
she could still be like that villain, like
She
the,
could do
the
some
rich
zangs,
heiress who's
right?
like pulling all the strings, like that kind of thing.
Exactly.
She's
I did
immortal.
not see a funny thing happen on the way to Thor's hammer yet, but I'm really looking forward
What
to
is
it.
that?
It's a short about Agent Coulson, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, in all the Avengers films, and it's like his backstory. He's like the glue that holds all the little bonus scenes in all the Avengers movies, the movies leading up to the Avengers together.
Awesome.
What do I think is the worst comic? I don't know. You know, I really try and sometimes stuff is really terrible, and I just stay away.
You know, I was thinking for
Carol Channing is alive, by the way.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
Carol Channing's alive, everybody. Good
Yay.
news.
Yeah, maybe for maybe at the end of the year there should be like a Fresh Ink episode. We'll get all the staff talking about like the worst comic books of the year.
Oh man.
Just find the worst,
Yeah.
the worst, best and worst.
There's one with a haunted vagina. That comic is pretty terrible.
That's terrifying.
R. Silent, it's called Tarot, the Witch Black Rupon. He was asking, R. Silent was asking, shows that have been canceled, is it cool that they continue in comic form? Great examples of this are the Joss Whedon shows. For example, Buffy, Dollhouse, Angel. I think it's a great way for fans to kind of get closure, and also for creators, in this case, it's Joss Whedon, to get closure on those characters because things ended before they could really wrap things up.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
Buffy had
The system failed for the awesome shirt comment. Wave Monsters. I've not tried out the Batman game. I hear it's awesome. I'm dying to buy it. Would you want to make a movie doc with your comic storyline? If someone else wanted to make one, absolutely. Arm Fall Off Boy. That is also a terrible superhero. Firefly, you're right, Firefly Comics. Scarlett Johansson is the Black Widow. You know, originally I thought that Emma Blunt was considered for that character, which I kind of would have liked. I like her a lot. Is that what her name is, Emma Blunt? Yeah. I like the... If you watch the Avengers trailer, there's a scene where it looks like the Black Widow's butt is making something explode because she's standing like this. Oh, sorry, I punched Courtney. She's like this, and then behind her is like an explosion. It's very strange. Farscape, yeah, in fact, Rick Damangella, who actually runs our internet section, has been reading the Farscape comic, which is pretty great. Arm Fall Off Boy, yes, somebody put that up there and it made me laugh. Yes, you're right, Eddie Steak. She was under contract to do Gulliver's Travels, which is a bummer because I thought she would have been pretty groovy as the Black Widow.
Oh, this is the business.
Let's see.
Now Wisdom is now going to go out and get the Farscape comic because he knows that it exists.
Personal abilities. That's really cool. He was basically saying he's training to get into MMA, and I have a good friend who just started fighting as an amateur in MMA, and I've really followed him, and I ran a lot of stuff in the comic by him to make sure it rang true to him. Eddie Steak's name does make me hungry for a Philly cheesesteak.
That sounds
bacon too is amazing. Let's see. Let's see here. Super Shodan. I love Iron Man's. I'm a big fan of your work, especially the getting angry and turning into a giant green rained monster. Yes.
Yeah, that was a good line. Very Whedon-esque.
Actor changes for the Hulk and the Avengers. I'm okay with it. I think Mark Ruffalo will be good. But you're right. It's changed from every film. Soundwave, not a boombox in the latest Transformers movie. This is terrible. Maybe. I have not watched the last two Transformers movies because the first one bummed me out.
I really don't think
it's my childhood.
Yeah.
Worst fight, either brutal or just bad you ever saw. Worst MMA fight I ever saw. My friend Nate Quarry fought a guy named Caleb Starnes, and Nate Quarry came to fight, and Caleb Starnes came, I kid you not, to run around the cage for 3 rounds. He ran around the cage, ran away from him for 3 rounds. Literally ran away. Did not fight, just ran away. And at the end, Nate Quarry very famously was so frustrated that he put his fist out like this, his arm like this, and started chasing him around like that around the cage, which has become a meme and a t-shirt. It's pretty amazing. It was a super, super, super terrible fight that was an embarrassment for everyone, except for Nate, who actually was trying to win the fight and fight.
You should have just stood there and wait for him to come around and just clothesline him.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I can go till... What time is it? I can go a little bit longer. Yeah.
Go as long as you want.
Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer, owned by Fox, and hopefully they're getting a reboot, I think. Yeah, I did see that Shia LaBeouf got beat up recently. That was too bad. He seems like a nice person. Let's see. If I believe hard enough, I can fly. Don't you go jumping off any buildings are silent. Don't you dare. What's the meme's name? I think just look up Nate Quarry versus Caleb Starnes, and the meme of him going like this will pop up. Oh yeah, Shia LaBeouf did indeed get beat up, Marlon Reyes. The video is there, and he was rescued by a guy on crutches. When a guy on crutches has to rescue you, that is never a good sign. When the licensing expires, I hope we see a Civil War movie. Right on, I'm with you. Totally. Let's see. Oh, you're laughing. Oh, good. Sorry. For a minute, I thought it said, I was like, I couldn't read that as an L. Seagal or Couture? Obviously Couture. Come on now. Come on. Randy Couture. Old Boy becoming an American movie. Well, if you've seen the original Korean Old Boy, oh my gosh! So disturbing. The hammer fight is one of the greatest sequences in any film. It's unbelievable. You haven't seen it yet? It's gonna blow your mind and creep your skin off. But
they have it on like streaming Netflix.
It is on Netflix, I think. It's great. American version, if they change, I mean, I don't know. I feel like an American version will have to be watered down if anyone knows the content of Old Boy and the ending. Let's just say I don't think American audiences will react to it quite the same way. But yeah, Old Boy, the hammer fight in Old Boy is unbelievable. Who would play me in G4 the movie? How about Shelley Duvall? Remember from Popeye and Time Bandits? She's goofy looking too. Let's see. Yeah, when something creeps my skin off, that is a bad sign. Creepy. Yeah, the end of Old Boy. I was watching that movie and I got to the end and I did the Macaulay Culkin Home Alone face.
Is there a cream for when your skin falls off?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they
L'Oreal.
should have a nice moisturizer for when you get your creeped your skin off. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, let's click that down arrow.
Oh yeah, sorry, I got stuck.
Sometimes it gets.
Oh, whoops. Let's see. Yeah. G4 the movie. That would be interesting. We did an X-Play Zombie episode once. That was pretty great.
That was great. I still use Morgan's phrase, "Karma's a bitch," all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And Rob, the screaming intern, he's still with us.
Rob, the screaming intern,
We
he's
need to
doing
get him
fine.
on the show. We haven't had him on here.
Oh, like a child sketch? Child actors are expensive.
Yeah.
And they have to be monitored closely. Would you be excited if there was a zombie apocalypse? I don't know if excited is the right word, but I feel adequately prepared, and I'm not even joking. Like, I've seen a lot of zombie movies. I've done my research. I feel like I'd be okay. Let's see. WikiLeaks states that I was once the head of the Hellfire Club from 98 to 02. Those were the days. Have I ever been, Drizzle writes, have I ever been to a live MMA event? I've been to several. I've been to several amateur events. I went to UFC 82, which I believe was headlined by Rashad Evans versus Lyoto Machida and Matt Hughes. I went to the Strikeforce event that was Robbie Lawler versus Babalu Sabral. And the best part of that Strikeforce fight was that Robbie Lawler's close friend, Jen's Little Evil Pulver, was sitting right behind me, and actually, like, you know, when you're at the live event, you can't hear the commentary play-by-play. He did play-by-play commentary sitting right behind me the whole time. It was one of the best experiences of my entire life. Jen's Little Evil Pulver could not be a nicer guy. He was there with his wife. He had his kick-ass, like, punch-out style tap-out shirt, and he made my evening. The guy was awesome. Tom0557, I agree with you. AOTS Behind the Scenes episode. We may have done that. Let's see. Jake 7000. I would go to Dick's Sporting Goods and Lowe's. I would go to Costco. You basically, here's my plan, zombie apocalypse. You get the car, right? You load it up with supplies. You drive into the Costco. They got the big rolling steel gate. Once you get the car in, you roll the steel gate down. You lock it down. You turn the car so it's pointed out. So if stuff goes down, you can just like roll it up and drive out. And then you've got like camping equipment, bedding, food. You're set. You got to eat the perishables first, though, people.
I'm glad I lived.
Don't eat bad shrimp in a zombie apocalypse, especially in an enclosed space with other survivors. You don't want to like crop dust them.
Well, I'm glad I only live a mile away from the Costco in case I run there.
Yeah, let's see. Next X-Men movie should deal with the Scarlet Witch and decimation. I think the next X-Men movie is actually the second Wolverine movie, which has been postponed a bunch of times because Darren Aronofsky was going to do it, and then he, for a lot of reasons, including that Japan had, you know, obviously a lot of tragedy, had to bail from the movie, so it'll be a little while. When is this over? Fairly soon, Trollface. Don't worry. Your misery and your pain will end soon.
Yes, but your name will always be Trollface.
I love Trollface. That's a great name. There's a guy that follows me named like Augustus Q Fartbag Esquire that makes me laugh so hard, and he's got the rainbow vomit troll face logo. I love that guy. Let's see. I want to do like they did in Dawn of the Dead with the buses. What about the chainsaws backfired? They killed themselves with the chainsaws. Marlon Reyes, you're totally right, man. I'm prepared for the zombie apocalypse. X-Men Origins Cyclops. I feel like Cyclops is in the draw that Wolverine is, so I think that's what happens.
Wolverine's a bit more charismatic.
Am I ready for Modern Warfare 3? As ready as I can be. I will get killed if I play multiplayer, but I'm pretty ready, although I have to say Uncharted 3, Skyrim, Arkham City are my priorities right now. Let's see. Sadly, Hugh Jackman ages faster than Wolverine. It's true, but he looks pretty darn good. Also, I met him once, and his bicep is bigger than my head. Wow. Like, the dude is ripped, and he's like 6'4". It's crazy. Because Wolverine's short, right? Hugh Jackman's so tall and big. Huge muscles.
Well, maybe the muscles kind of balance out the height, so he looks shorter, so it's proportionally wider.
Yeah. I think Cyclops ate it in X-Men 3, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman is very tall. Skyrim, yes. I'm so excited about Skyrim. That was fail when the old dude killed that girl. That makes me laugh. Battlefield 3, I have not played yet, sadly.
It's not out yet, guys. It's only in beta.
Oh my god, a robot apocalypse. Well, we're screwed. I'm not prepared for that at all. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not prepared for robot apocalypse, which is much more likely.
Zombies are one thing. Robots?
Trollface is trolling me. Let's see. Oh dear.
You guys can just put him out of the room,
No,
moderators.
no, that's okay.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. He
It
was
is
he
okay.
was trolling me gently. It was
Okay.
gentle
Yeah, I've
trolling.
seen much worse trolls.
Yeah, that was not really troll. I only say trolling because his name is Trollface. Let's see. Oh my gosh, guys, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on all this. Would I go back and do stand-up comedy again? Yes, absolutely. Siri is like GLaDOS, borderline GLaDOS.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the robot apocalypse, we're all doomed. Did DC Marvel really need the reboots? The Ultimate Universe and Marvel after Ultimatum, I think it needed a reboot. DC, look, here's the thing. I'm really torn because they had amazing books like Secret Six that they dumped, and they're not rebooting, which is a huge bummer. And then they kept like some of the crazier continuity like Batman and Green Lantern. They kept those, which to me makes them sometimes a little less accessible. Other things they rebooted and I think did some interesting things. I love the new Flash. I love the new Aquaman. Batwoman maintained mostly the same continuity, so I'm cool with that because I love that book. And Batman, Scott Snyder's Batman is great. Animal Man, awesome reboot, so that was great. I know what Magic is. I have not played it, but our supervising producer. Oh, I'm sorry, Trollface. Trollface was not trolling. Do not banish him. He has to go. I'm gonna be here for exactly 8 more minutes.
Yeah, and don't
Less
worry,
than
guys.
8.
We are recording
7
this,
more
so you
minutes.
can always watch it later.
Yeah, you're right. Siri is GLaDOS's not as amusing younger sister. Metalocalypse, I love that. I could handle a Metalocalypse. I get some earplugs. Awesome. Marvel did not need to remake Spider-Man. Yeah. I have not played Rage and I've not played Borderlands, but I will be playing Borderlands Game of the Year edition when I get my little animal paws on it. I'm looking forward to that. Batwoman movie. That will never happen, but it would be great, wouldn't it? Let's see, Tekken Street Fighter. Yeah, that got delayed, right? Right on, Jenny. Yeah, it would be fun to see Batwoman. Let's see. Oh, get well and... Are you sick, Teggy?
No, I think he's saying get well to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I had crazy nerd flu, basically, on Saturday at the con. But it wasn't the flu, it was actually food poisoning, but I was...
It still sucks.
There was some Technicolor yawning that happened before that day started that was pretty brutal. Justice League movie actually I think will happen, but it's going to be like 5 years away. I did have nerd flu. It was pretty brutal. Does this cape make your butt look big? I don't know. I can't see it.
You're not on camera, Silence. You never are on camera, so...
Sunny Dementia, yes, you're correct. That is what the Technicolor yawn is, tragically. Let's see, Wonder Woman movie. They're not making the Wonder Woman movie, sadly.
I mean, they tried the TV series. And
favorite Mortal Kombat player? Oh, I like Scorpion. I'm okay with Scorpion. Will there ever be a Wonder Twins movie? I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly, there's probably going to be like a Wonder Twins TV show more than a movie. How many times have we gotten the nerd flu? You know what? I tend to get it after every convention.
It's hard to avoid.
I am weak.
There's so many people.
I'm frail and weak.
Like, no matter what you do, you're still touching things.
Yeah.
And people are touching things. It's hard to avoid.
Yeah.
Take your vitamins.
I think that the Avengers movie will be huge. I agree. I agree with you. Purell, I know, right? There's not enough Purell. I bathe in Purell.
No.
You know what it is? It's just, it's really crowded and there's no room to move around. You know what? Someone suggested that I should cosplay as a Big Daddy from Bioshock, or like a hazmat suit.
Well,
I could do that.
You know, at the anime cons, one of the fashion trends, at least with the goth look, they have these like medical masks, like the surgical masks that are all decorated with cool stuff. And I got Rick a biohazard one. He wore it at Comic-Con. And everyone's like, oh my god, that's the coolest thing. And it keeps you from breathing.
That's kind of
Downside,
great.
They're really warm.
Bubble Girl would be good, but I could never get around because it was so crowded.
You wouldn't be able to autograph
Marlene, you can back me up on this. Comic-Con was so freaking crowded, the New York Comic-Con. You could barely move. Plus, everyone has swords. Your bubble would get popped.
Yeah.
Someone would, like, stab you.
That would suck.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know what, Anime Alley, the hall between Artist Alley and the regular con floor was like a corridor of farts. It was so bad in there.
Wow.
It was such a vortex of funk. It was pretty brutal. I wish Comic-Con would go to Connecticut too. That would be delightful. Yeah, this year was the most crowded New York Comic-Con has ever been, and the biggest. They opened the whole Javits Center, so like the entire thing was open. So I would say it's like maybe 2/3 the size of San Diego Comic-Con, but it was insane.
You think it's ever going to get as big as Sunny?
Yeah, definitely. It was a corridor of farts, Sunny Dementia. A corridor of farts.
Right.
Okay, let's see. It was the worst haunted house ever. Are people allowed to have metal swords at Comic-Cons? Yes, that's
Really?
amazing. At San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
they totally are like, you can only have like balsa wood or like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
those
a lot
like
of cons
fiber,
are like wood
yeah,
only.
the wood only
No
swords.
steel.
New York Comic Con, people like swords, guns, metal.
Nice.
It's crazy. Otacon, oh my god, Otacon is definitely a chamber of farts.
Yeah.
I think Otacon farts in like an extra in Metal Gear, doesn't he? There's like an Otacon thing where if you stay on him long enough in one of the Metal games, he talks about farting.
So wait, is he talking about? Oh, okay, I was gonna say, or are you talking about Otakon?
Oh,
convention?
Otacon. I thought he was talking about the Otacon character from Metal
He could
Gear.
have been talking.
There's
about
something
it.
where he like
No.
poops himself, isn't there?
Oh.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about? No one knows what I'm talking about. It's in one of the older games where he gets scared, where he gets kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
NYCC has not been commercialized. It's definitely all about the comics this year, for sure.
That is kind of nice.
Some dude was walking around with a retro Lancer. It was great.
Nice.
New G.I.
I
Joe
want
movie, yeah. Courtney, this is a good
What?
question for you.
What?
Live-action anime movies?
No, stop it! Stop making them. It's a bad idea.
She
Stop
has
it.
an opinion that
Stop
is very intense. Not real guns, but they still looked kind of real.
Mm-hmm. I hope they aren't actual guns.
Let's see. Fail sauce. I did have some fail sauce. Odorcon. Yes. Let's see. I like the idea of Odorcon.
Yeah.
Not even Cowboy
It's
Bebop,
fantastic.
Courtney?
No Cowboy Bebop movies, no anime. Oh, see, here's what I believe. Anime is animated for a reason.
Sucker
Because-
Punch, sadly not good.
Yeah.
I gotta break it to you.
There's a perfect example.
Great
They
trailer.
would've been
Great
good.
trailer. Not good movie.
Yeah.
Let's see. Live action. That must be for you.
Wait, I did see the live action Sailor Moon. Now, this is a perfect example of it. Great drama. It was a Japanese live action show. Like, the drama was really good, except the parts where they actually dressed up as superheroes and tried to have action was so bad. It was like Power Rangers bad.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
like, that's why it's animated, because it just doesn't look good live action,
Right.
you know?
Okay, guys, one more minute. Here we go.
Okay, last
Final
minute of
questions. Final round.
Ask stuff to Blair, not me. You can talk to me tomorrow.
Let's see. Yes, hot chicks, dragons, zombie samurai mechs.
Could have been awesome, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I know I've never punched a puppy. I love puppies and kittens. They're adorable. I do like cheese. I'm not sure where that question came from, but fair
It's
enough.
our silence. It's just random like that.
Sunny Dementia had sex with a dragon once. All right, then. Fair enough.
Sun is a dragonborn.
Oh, I get it. That's a good Game of Thrones zang.
Uh-huh.
What is my favorite video game? That's a really tough question.
It's
I gotta
soon to
say
be
Portal
Batman-
2.
it's soon to be
Portal,
Batman
Portal
Arkham
2 is
City.
amazing, but there's a lot of great stuff out there. I do not know the way to Sesame Street. Thank you so much. Congrats on my comic book. How did I get it started? You know what? It's a story I always wanted to tell, and I was like, no one's telling this story, damn it. No one's doing an MMA comic. So I did it. It's pretty awesome. It was a lot of work, and a really good learning experience. Yes, that is correct. I will be in Annapolis in November, actually the night of the day before Cain Velasquez Jr. Dos Santos fight. We're going to be signing a really special edition of the comic.
Ooh,
so yes,
go
in
check it
Annapolis. And yeah, I really like Portal 2. Skyrim, I'm excited for. And yeah, I guess it is. It's 6, you guys.
Yes, it's time for us to go home.
Goodbye.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
Blair,
everybody.
for coming and joining us.
Thank you so much for sticking with me and listening to me ramble. You're all very nice people.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Good
And
night.
Adam Sessler will be here next time, so join us.
Sessler.
And we will be talking video games. It'll be awesome.
Oh
He's
my God,
fantastic on here.
Sessler. He's
All
great.
right.